the only possible way to make this country great again, whatever that means, to me this is just a meaningless phrase, is to start by looking at the past, by looking into the future. The past is the past. What was, and there's nothing we could do about that. Any politician who wants to make this better, for the people of this country, for the people of America, needs to leave behind this mindset of looking to the past in order to to to, to predict what, or to compare what the present should be, by looking into the past and comparing the past with the present in order to decide what needs to be done in the future. I think this is a huge mistake. We should be looking at the present and looking into the future to see what could be done, to make this nation better for future generations. That's what I think. And the only possible way that this can be done in this day and age is science, technology, education, math. You know what I'm saying? Uh, New technologies, a lot of research, new infrastructures. That's the only possible way we're going to create new jobs. You need to understand that we are at a point in America where, minimum wage is $15 an hour, where in other underdeveloped countries, you got people making 150 or $2 a day working in factories. So it's going to become impossible for Americans to be able to compete in many industries, as long as labor can be outsourced to these other nations where the labor is a lot more cheaper than here in America. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the government and corporations and all these people, they're going to have to concentrate what kind of opportunities and what kind of new technologies can be created and brought into existence that can be built and implemented in America for Americans, because there's a lot of things that are gonna have to be left to be done by other nations, in which labor it's a lot cheaper than here. So I think Americans are gonna have to become really innovative in the coming years, so that they can figure out, what's the best that can be done, under the circumstances. Because going back into the past and looking into the past, that's not going to create the future. You have to become imaginative and to look at the present and what's going on in the present time in order to be able to predict what's going to be the new trends in the future. And that can only be done with, I think, only with science and technology and stuff like that, because manufacturing and stuff like that just it doesn't make sense for America to think about manufacturing jobs and stuff like that, given the fact that I mentioned before that there's a lot of nations out there that have a lot of people who are unemployed, and there's a lot of cheap labor. So they're gonna have to think about innovative ways, and that could only be possible in science and technology. That's the only. I think that's the only science and technology is going to be the only way forward for this country if they want to become competitive when it comes to jobs and stuff like that, competing with other nations around the world. Without science and technology, I don't think this country is ever going to have a chance, really.